What's good, everyone? Welcome back to Cars with Ben, and today is a special video from me. I'm going to be talking about why I love my Mark II NB MX5. I'm going to be talking over some footage. That is a disclaimer, it's not my footage, but I will credit all the people who have used for this. But I just need some backdrop just to talk about my MX5. So the car you're seeing here, this is my Arctic Edition MX5. It's not the exact car, but it's pretty much what I've just found on the internet. I do have pictures of my car, of course, but it looks pretty much like this one. And I'm going to be talking about why you should buy an MX5 Mark II and the reasons for it just being better than the others, and something you should consider even as maybe a second car if you're looking to get a sports car. I will talk about the benefits of it and why you should own one. So let's jump straight into this. Again, not my footage, but I really want to credit everyone who I've used just for some backdrop. So let's get straight into it. Number one, this car is cheap. Generally speaking, to run, to buy, in general, it is a cheap car to buy. And at the moment, you could pick up a high mileage one for a couple of grand, maybe less if it's worse. I would recommend spending a bit more on it if you want to use it for a long term. This car is fantastically cheap to buy at the moment. You can buy more expensive ones, which I probably would recommend. Generally speaking, you don't want a dog, but it is really a good car to buy cheap wise. It's not that much expensive. It's a great car for people who like driving, who like cars. Just be warned though, if you are picking up one of these in the UK, you will be looking at about £300 road tax, which is what I pay at the moment. A bit more than that, but they are quite expensive. So just be warned, that is an issue. Cheap to repair if needed as well. All right, number two, fun to drive. Of course, any car enthusiast wants a car that is fun to drive and enjoyable, and there is definitely no shortage of that when it comes to the MX5 Mark II. With all my MX5s, of course, that goes without saying. This car is fantastic fun. It's simple mechanical engineering. There's nothing complicated about it, which is what makes it great. It's very lightweight. It's not very fast. That's a lie. It's not great. It's not fast, but it is fun to drive. And I think that's what makes it accessible to everyone who wants, not too cheap, but cheap enough motoring. A great, one of the best roadsters in the world, in my opinion. But I am biased in saying that. But yeah, moving on to number three. It's good looking. This car, in my opinion, compared to the rest of the range of MX5s, is a good looking car. Personally, the Mark 1 is very good looking, of course. The Mark 2 is why I think, it's a very simple looking car, but it looks great. Mark 3 I don't like as much, and the Mark 4, of course, is good, but it's more modern naturally. And you're going to stand out a bit. You're not going to be in a normal city car. You're going to stand out a little bit with a Mark II, and it's not quite, or any Mazda for that matter, it's just a bit different. It's a good-looking, small roadster. And I think that is worthy of why you should buy a Mark II NB, because they are cute, they are kind of cool, and you can make them more aggressive, which is moving on to my next point, which I'll go on to in a minute. But definitely something to consider when looking at them. Moving on to number four, reliability. Reliability is obviously very important for people who want, a car that works every day, and you could just daily this every day, which I probably pretty much do. The Mark II is, with any Mazda really, are reliable. So I definitely recommend looking into this. Obviously, it's very important when you're buying a car, but for me, the Mark II has been fantastic. Touch wood so far. Rust, you do need to be careful of rust, of course, not forgetting that. So just check under the sills when you are looking to buy one of these cars, because the older ones, Mark 1s, Mark 2s, they are going to be rusty. Particularly with being their age now, some of them are 20, 30 years old. So just be careful of that. But generally, on the whole, reliable to repair and, cheap to repair. So definitely another good point for the Mark II specifically. And yeah, 100%. Mostly, generally quite good. Final point, number 5, modifiable. So the Mark II, and any Mazda again for that matter, is great for modifying. I would definitely recommend it as a car to have if it's a project, if you wanted that, because you can buy them cheap, they're reliable, and when you pick it up, you can do so much to it. So, for example, I've done my headlights, I've tinted my rear lights. I've got a few things I want to do to. You can change the number plate brackets, especially if you're in the UK. So many different things you can do. You could lower it. It's fairly cheap to do because they're so mass produced, these cars. But anyway, that's been my video today. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Subscribe to Cars with Ben, where you'll see more car content. And I will link all of the videos in the description. Peace.